Hi, Beauty. This training is all about problem awareness content. I'm going to go over about a 5 to 7 minute verbal training. Then I'm going to share my screen with a Google document that you'll have access to and that you can make your own to use it as a form of a soft template that's not meant to box you in. It's meant to help you get creative, to take a lot of the guesswork out and to show you a very easy way to write your captions, carousels, emails. This can be used for anything in an organized way so that your reader can have the main points and it's very clearly written out. Let's get right into it. When it comes to problem awareness content, you want to make sure that you are speaking to the pain point. However, you do want to be mindful that when someone comes on your feed, it's not like boom, 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 problem, problem, problem. But you do need to speak to this. At the end of the day, you are here to solve a problem. You are a solution to a problem that your ideal client has, or there's an experience that you provide that when the woman buys into your offer, they're under the assumption that this offer is going to help them get to their desired goal, get through the problem that they have. So make sure that you are posting this type of content, that you have it in your content strategy, and it's very clear, direct, and to the point. I'm going to get into some specificities of it and why you want to make sure that you're being specific. By being specific, you're telling the people, hey, I see you. I see you in the exact thing that you're doing. And when you do this with such specificity of what does it look like in her day, the way that I explain this is imagine somebody is following your client around with the camera, a video camera. What are we going to see them doing? Also, what is she thinking inside of her head? When you think of your ideal client, I want you to give her a name. Think of an actual human being that you have worked with or are currently working with right now. Let's say your favorite client. I stay with Air Bunnies because when your marketing's on point, you're very you're very authoritative, you're very authentic, that's the word, with who you are online. All of your clients are going to be your favorite client. That's the goal. The ones that are taking action, they're moving, they're showing up to calls with zest and prepared and taking action after the calls and what you guys talked about. This happens when you speak to her in your content. So let's come back. When you're writing this content, think of her name and the specific offer that you're writing this piece of content for. So by being really specific, you're showing her, I hear you, I know exactly where you're at. Now, what this does not allow the ego to get in the way of her thinking, oh, I don't need that problem. I don't need that. I don't need that program. I already did one on that. Oh, I don't need that. Yeah, I already have 2 saved. But when you speak to it with such specificity, there's no way the ego can say, I don't need that, when nobody has seen her in that specificity and that exact way before. Boom, send me the motherfucking link. Boom, done. I want you to think of the most basic thing with this client. If you were to zoom out, okay, let's get into the specificity of it. What does it look like for her in her day? You got to consider 2 things, the actions that she's doing or things that she's thinking, and also the level of problem she's at. For example, something that I would write would be, let's see, what are her problems? Her problem can be she doesn't have 20, 30, 40, 50 people sign up to her master classes. Okay. So the problem aware content looks like, here's why you don't have 30, 40, 50 people signing up to your master classes and how to fix it. Notice how I didn't say, here's why you're throwing out the slides to your master class and nobody's signing up. Or here's why nobody's signing up to your master classes. My ideal client isn't going to resonate with nobody's signing up to that. She's not going to see that. Oh, that's not for me. So there's a level of client, right? Alternatively, let's say there's a content offer, a content program, and you're a business coach, and it can look like, here's why you're posting every day and you're not making sales. It could be that, and then you're selling the content thing. So just be aware of the really specific problem your client, ideal client who has a name, is having. Let's give another example. Example for an embodiment coach. Here's why you're saying all the body affirmations. You're going to the Sexy Heels classes and you're journaling every morning, but you're still low-key dreading squeezing into that sexy dress you want to wear this Friday at your girls' dinner, or wherever this Friday at could be more specific to her. A family dinner, a family party, or whatever that is. You see how it's so specific? The hook becomes really basic. Here's why you're doing X, you're journaling every day, going to Sexy Heroes classes, and you still, very basic. Example for a fitness coach. What are one of her problems? So problem could be, I feel like I am doing all the workouts, I'm counting my macros, and I still don't have any muscle. The hook becomes, here's why you're working out 4 times a week and counting macros, but not building muscle, right? So super specific, the more the better. You probably think you're being specific, but you can go even more. Let's get into the Google document. You have access to this document, so make a copy, save it, make it your own, have fun with it. Here's the general outline. I wrote this for the captions of a reel or a carousel. However, I want you to think about this with bigger mindset. You can use this for a carousel itself or an email, whatever it is that you need it for. What I really want you to pay attention to here is how it's really differentiated and lined out so that when your reader reads it, per se, in a caption, it's very organized what they're reading, and you're hitting some very direct and specific points. You'll see what I mean when I get into it. Now the outline, a very specific hook. I'm at the very top here. Specific hook. We're all expressed women. You are so expressed. I know that you're out there creating fun reels, storytelling, leadership, activation posts. I know that already. For these here, I invite you to keep this so basic, so specific. Of course, use your languaging, use your words, your branded words. You make sure that you are in it, but let these hooks be so basic and to the point. This is what I mean. Down here with the hooks. Here's why you have specific struggle and how to fix it. Keep it very basic. Here's why your XYZ struggle is happening and what to do about it. Now, you don't have to say the word struggle. Fill in the blank with what they're doing. Here's why you're blah, 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 and how to fix it. Here's why you're still blah, 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 and how to fix it. So with these, let it be so to the point and direct. You don't want your reader to get to your page and to feel like, whoa, problem, 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 problem. But we do want to speak to this, because like I said, you are here to solve a problem. So this is the general outline, a specific hook. Then you're going to go into the context of, it's a preface. Why are you saying this? Then give the value. And lastly, a call to action. So this is how I have the form separated. Hook is on the top, context, value at the very end, the call to action with an optional extra piece there. So after the specific hook, going to the context, then the value. When you give the value, this is going to be your signature method, not the things that they see all over the internet. This is why they're going to pick you, and it positions your work as a solution to their problem. Then at the very end, your call to action. Here's a framework for you that you can use. First is the hook. These first 2 hooks are going to speak to the struggle and what stuck looks like for them. If you notice, the approach to this, like the angle of leaning into the problem is, what are they saying? Like, oh, I'm still XYZ, right? Here's why you have X specific struggle and how to fix it. There's 2 there. You're going to read them there. Now, the second one is, now these hooks speak to what they're doing. So I would mix up the 2. 1, you have what stuck looks like. 2, what are they doing that's wrong that you're going to show them a better way? X action, here's the examples down here. X action won't help you reach Y result. Here's what to do instead, and that's going to be your method. We use the one that I did earlier, the example for an embodiment coach. Affirmations aren't going to help you love your body enough to be excited to wear a bikini to the barbecue with your family on the weekend, or with your girlfriends to Bali. Like that's, you're going to speak to your ideal client. Affirmations aren't going to help you do that. Here's why and what to do instead. It could be whatever your way is. See how it's 2 different ways? Switch it up. Now, a question that I get asked is how often to post this, like what's the cadence for this? This is going to be so subjective on how many times you're posting and the warmth of your audience. If your audience is super cold, I would have at least 1 a week. However, be mindful, If you are somebody who's only posting twice a week, let's fix that. But if you're only posting twice a week and one of those is problem-aware content, think about the bigger vision. Whoa, it's gonna be problem. So this is gonna depend on those two things. Then the context. This is the attention grabber again. This is you seeing her for where she's at. The words that I have bullet and bold, these are the words that I want you to actually use in your copy. So you can literally copy this, paste it, leave right now your, and then fill in the blank. Currently you're doing fill in the blank. So have it be just like that. So this is a form of storytelling. You're grabbing them in. Right now and paint the picture, like what does stuck look like for her? Tell a story again. Or you're currently doing X action to get Y results. So we're kind of repeating the hook, but going into a little bit more detail. Then what you need to do is insert your method. This is going to get you Y result. Or here's how to do Y method so you can get X result. So we're repeating the hook, tying it to the transformation and your work. Next, we're going to go into the value part of it. The way I do this in my captions, same thing with the bold words. Like I want you to actually type that out. Here's what to do. Boom. Here's why it'll work. Boom. Type that out and then your information there. The way I do this is when I type this, I'll really write, here's what to do. And then I like using the fingers, the pointing down, and I'll point the fingers down or an arrow or something, or some kind of emoji, and then write it out. Then I'll write again, literally word for word. Here's why it'll work for you, arrows down, and then write it out. So it's so clear and concise. Your reader, you're answering the questions and telling your reader what she's reading, what the point of all this work is. And in the how, of course, make sure that this is your signature method and you share insights and perspectives that people haven't heard before. Let's see. Same thing again at the bottom. When you do know how to do X method, which is yours, this is when you're going to get Y results. Some of these are more ideas. Whichever ones that you use, try to use who, what, where, when, and why. Think of those and pick. I put down here 1 to 5, like 1 to 5 different things, and talk about that depending on how much space you have and how much detail you're going to go into. Then at the very end, let's underline that. When you master X method, that's when you'll get Y result. If you want to add some extra, if you have space or just want to, you can add some evidence. It could be your results, client results, something about, it can be as simple as, this is exactly how my client went from X to Y, or I have it written down here for you. This X method is what helped me achieve X result. So now you're throwing in some social proof there. And at the very end, a call to action. All right, my beauty queens, run with it, go post. And so you can pop one out in the next 20 minutes, yeah? Bye.